The most cocaine I had ever seen at one time was 2 ounces. I've been a cop now for 12 years, and I've seen a baggie of cocaine about 2 ounces.
Hmm.
The first undercover trip I got to go on with DEA, this was in February, I think, of '88. We went on a 53-foot Hatteras Sport Fisherman, which is a yacht. Has the fishing chair in the back.
Hmm.
It had been seized from some drug traffickers, and DEA had wired it for sound and video. We take it to it was me and 2 DEA undercover boat captains, and we go to the Turks and Caicos Islands, which I'd never heard of. Took us 5 days to get there. The boat has 2 inboard engines, and we hit a reef in shallow water, and it bent the props on one of the motors, so we had to limp into one, I think, Treasure Key, and then we limped down to Nassau. We had the Navy, DEA flew a new prop over from Miami, and a Navy subtender came towards the Nassau port, and then a couple of divers came over and put our prop on.
Hmm.
And I'm thinking, holy cow, we can get the Navy to do things like this, you know? So then we head on down to the Turks and Caicos Islands. We're there for a couple weeks. Finally, the bad guys, they're bringing in 400 kilos of cocaine.
400 kilos.
Yeah.
So you're going from baggies to bricks.
I went from 2 ounces to 880 pounds of coke.
God
And
damn.
I'll tell you what, Zach, I was addicted to cocaine at that point, but just in a different way.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
this whole case centered around proving that the Castro brothers were allowing Cuba to be used as a transshipment point from cocaine coming out of Colombia destined for South Florida. So to prove that, the Air Force had a P-3 AWACS radar plane up at our behest to track a plane, a twin engine coming out of Cuba, flying to Turks and Caicos. You know, it gets to the end of the runway. As it's turning around, the back door flies open. I'm standing there. We got a Turks cop with us. And they're throwing green duffel bags out full of cocaine at me. They go up, they refuel, they take off, and they fly right back into Cuba. So that was the whole purpose of that case. And then we did a controlled delivery, what we call a controlled delivery in the United States a few weeks later.
So the cocaine, was it coming from Colombia to Cuba? And then someone was getting in a plane from Cuba, dropping it off at Turks and Caicos, and then
Or wherever.
Or wherever, and then someone else would come in and finish the trip to America?
Yep. So then we were hired as a transportation group. Our undercover role was, we'll transport anything, anywhere, for any time for the right amount of money. And so they thought we had secret compartments on our yacht, this 53-foot yacht, where we could hide 400 kilos of coke in case we got stopped by a Coast Guard or Customs or whoever. And then we could get it into Miami, and eventually we would deliver it to wherever they wanted us to deliver it to. And they had to pony up $50,000 for, we told them we needed for fuel, for food, for payoffs to, port authorities and things like that. So it went really well.